No, I don't need quarterback. What? I'm gonna take 3 backups.
Anyways.
And just fill up my bench.
Are you guys ready?
Yo, we're back.
We're born ready,
Let's
baby.
go.
Born ready. Here we go. Hey. Got that.
That's the best
massive
part,
pack.
man.
There we
Fuck
go.
Yeah.
Yo.
Money well spent.
Yo.
This is what happens when you hire a professional for free.
Yo, welcome back.
What's cooking?
We here.
We need to get like a soundboard where we can just have like random like quips.
He's already got it. He's already got it.
It's all over it. Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, so as you can see, we
Yeah,
clearly have a new toy.
We got
And
young
Matt's
Jamie on the
fired
boards.
up. Matt is so
Yo,
fired up
what's
about
up,
this. That's awesome. I love this. Yeah, great investment. We're trying to, we're trying to.
It's a great investment. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Just have everything ready to go.
Finally, have somebody laugh at my own jokes.
Exactly.
Oh no! As soon as he can just like anyone
I'm just
makes
gonna
a
tell
bad joke.
stupid jokes
he's
all
just
day.
gonna have-
Doo-doo. Oh.
Oh no! You can low key roast us with that.
Oh yeah.
Any moment. And we don't even know what's on the
We
board.
don't even know.
Switch it up every
He
week.
can
Something
switch
different.
it up and like.
I didn't even know that sound was on there.
How many sounds does it have?
6.
Jeez, we almost made
That's
it
it.
through in the first minute 30.
I'm just fired up. I think that's dope.
Yeah, so basically we got a new mixer. This is a really big deal for us because the entire podcast is kind of located right here. So this mixer is going to allow us to be a little bit more streamlined. We're going to be able to actually have some guests on our show. We're going to be able to take calls over the phone, over the Skype. We're going to even be able to do some live streaming pretty soon.
Which is
Announcement time,
it's
baby.
good for fucking COVID because no one's allowed to go anywhere apparently. So
Yeah.
now we can bring everybody here, which is great.
Yeah.
Because we want to talk to people other than ourselves.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
in a restaurant. We're just a quickie mart.
And we
We're
need-
good here.
I need more people to help us tell Kyle he's wrong.
Hey.
You have to
More,
look for
more people just need to get on board with that.
It is what it is.
So it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a bit. It's a weird week because I feel so out of the loop
right.
and like in my own life.
Right? And the amount of like current events that have been going on, I've just been like watching them and being like, oh boy, like that was my reaction pretty much everything. It was like,
Oh boy. Even
Exactly.
seeing those
Like-
combine numbers.
Exactly. Like, like the fucking headline I sent you guys. Tennessee man throws his penis at a cop. Yes, that implies that he cut it off.
Yeah.
So this dude literally, he's just like parked on the side of a highway and a cop pulled up behind him. So he takes off and then they chase him down for a little bit and then he pulls over again. And when he gets out of the car, he's covered in blood and he throws his penis at them.
Jeez,
And he
man.
said that the radio told him to cut his penis off to save the world.
That's why you can't listen to Alex
Wow.
Jones. You can't have him on a high speed chase because he's gonna tell you the wrong thing.
Oh.
The guy
It
was
don't work.
definitely high on speed.
Yeah. So,
No, that's insane. Like how okay, so the skills that it must have actually taken to drive the vehicle while cutting your dick. Like
well,
Honestly, that's what I was thinking. The concentration you have to have, and then to park, open the door, and still get up
Yeah.
after. Like that takes a lot of like old balls. Like you didn't like.
okay, so I have a weird thought process on this thing. So obviously, all males have different size penises. Now, depending on this guy's situation, I just feel like it's a lose-lose. Because let's say he's got a huge dick. What a waste! You just cut it off. Like every man wants. To
halfway
be you.
done,
And he's
knife
like-
is dull.
And he's like, "Fuck you," and he just cuts it off. Like, what are you doing?
Taking too long.
Like, if there is a god up there, he's like, oh, fucking Greg. Like, but then, on the flip side, what if he just like ends up throwing a little chicken nugget at the car? And the cop's like, oh, what the fuck was that? And they don't even register that it was his dick until like hours later. Like,
Yeah, I don't even know how to process that. Because on one side, I'm trying to like put myself in his shoes of like cutting your dick off while driving, while like not
Agony.
crashing. Like that's insane.
And being the cop, it's like, are you traumatized? Like that's kind of a traumatizing thing to see.
Yeah,
At
the
the
weird
same
shit you
time,
see as
it's
a cop.
fucking hilarious. Like it's a once in a lifetime moment. Nobody else has this story to tell. You can go anywhere and you're gonna one up everybody. Like, oh, what did you see on the forest? Oh, there was a murder, there was a car accident, there's
Right?
bodies everywhere. I got dick in the face.
I got a guy.
Only dick.
Well, the other thing too is like, that's like, how sharp was the knife? Like, how did he do it? Because like, unless he was ready to go, like that's like cutting a ketchup packet. Like that's like kind of difficult to do.
Yeah, that's
That's a lot of. It's
I
just
can't
weird
get in
as
that time
hell.
frame.
That is just weird as hell, and it's America, you know.
fucking America.
But speaking of cutting their dicks off, been to a couple weddings these last couple weeks, and
Oh! What a
segue.
transition.
Kyle's transition skills.
But
Getting there.
we got got the two of them, and it's been crazy just seeing people again because like in bigger ish crowds, like we're all safe, legal reasons, whatever the fuck. But just seeing like family members you haven't seen in a year,
Yeah.
and you just go back to drinking and like hanging out and just like once the dancing comes on and people are okay being around each other and a little bit like normal. But then with my kids, obviously the first one had a full year pre-COVID, so she was rowdy. We'd go to balls. She'd been to weddings. She was good with people, and then once we came back, she just went right back to it. The other one, born right in the middle of the pandy, probably the last 2-3 months has met everybody. Like all the people that we know are finally meeting her. So now we get to these big weddings, big events. She sees all the people. She's scared of her grandma.
Just
She's scared of grandma.
overwhelming.
She doesn't want to see anybody but
Yeah,
me and her mom
I
because
can imagine.
she doesn't know
She's like, "Is
that
that
this
weird?"
is okay or like that these are real people. Like where the fuck are they coming from? Like everybody's meeting her, and it's a crazy thing to see in real time how this could potentially affect kids.
The psychology changes
Yeah.
in like the thought process and just how how kids perceive the world and everything like that. It's going to be totally different.
Yeah.
It's going to be a new generation of like weird isolated children.
Yeah, it's
That's how I
definitely
see
gonna
it.
be like how people always talk about you can do whatever you want in your own house and then like go in public, have your own. That's gonna be everybody
Yeah.
because like these kids, like mine at least, she's grown up for a year in the house and she's a completely different kid once she leaves that house because she's completely comfortable with us with her stuff, everything. But when she sees new things,
Yeah.
like we go for hikes and all that, so she's kind of cool with that. But seeing people and seeing like I guess just groups and different toys and stuff that she's not used to completely shuts her down.
Yeah, learning
It's
it at different
super
stages
weird.
of life. It's weird.
Well, I think it was Bo Burnham was saying the next generation's gonna have dissociative identity disorders.
Yeah, I
These
think
kids
so.
are gonna be. She's not gonna meet anybody in person. She's not gonna like people in person. She'll be really introverted, and she'll just go online.
Yeah.
Have her own.
Not even know
world.
who she is either.
Yeah.
Just it's going to be a weird online
But
world where no one really knows
It's,
who they
it's
are.
almost a catch-22 though because like there's no social pressure to be somebody. Like when you go out in public all the time, you act a little bit different. Like you kind of conform to certain things. Whereas if you're just online and you only know your kind of your bubble, your people at home, you can act as wild and crazy and not have any
You
idea
can
that
be
there's
the
a
true
problem.
piece of shit you know you
Yeah,
are.
you could be a piece of shit. You could be awkward. Like
Yeah.
you could fully nerd out and make a TikTok just about this certain comic book
Yeah.
and have no idea that everybody's making fun of you because
Yeah.
you're gonna just get followers and those are, like you can
I
see
mean,
comments and
I
shit.
feel
But
like I feel like the hate comments would say otherwise.
it's so easy not to look at that.
I mean, you
It's
say
so
that
simple.
we don't get many hate comments. We don't get any comments really.
Well, in general, when I talk, I get a lot of hate
I
comments
feel
just from
like-
people in
I feel
real life.
Teenagers that are more susceptible to taking bullying personally. Obviously, if you tried to bully us as grown men, we'd probably just laugh and say something back. But like a teenage girl, teenage boy that's like actually getting bullied and actually cares about that stuff. I mean, there's more than a few headlines of those teenagers killing themselves. So
Yeah, there's gonna be those people, but what I'm saying is if that's your new normal, like if you go to school and you get bullied, it's whatever, like it happens when you like
It just
what am I
happens.
trying to say? That if you make videos from a young age, you're gonna get hate comments immediately. It's gonna happen right away, no matter what. You're gonna
Fucking
slowly kind of
2-year-old bitch.
understand it. Honestly, honestly, have you seen? Like, I'm pretty sure on one of my TikToks they call my baby fat. Like it just you get that shit, and if you see it from a young age, you can kind of start realizing, okay, these are actual pieces of shit. They don't. It's not because you did something wrong. It's because those people want to make you feel bad about what you're doing.
Absolutely. There's so many shitty people out there. Like,
So it's a catch-22.
can you know what Ryan Toy's review is? He's
Yeah.
a super
Oh,
famous
the-
YouTuber.
Yeah, the
kid.
millionaire kid.
Yeah. Can you imagine it's like a grown man being like, "Yeah, I thought Ryan's review was a little particular, and then I went out and got this toy myself. It turns out Ryan's just a fucking idiot and doesn't know how to use this Hot Wheels set. So fuck you, Ryan, and fuck everyone that thought this was a bad
I
set."
can't believe he did not see the lights on the Corvette. That's clearly a 76.
Honestly,
I
Ryan.
would watch that before I watched Ryan. Just some grown ass dude just kind of shit talking his reviews while he re-reviews it.
Meanwhile, he's
That'd be
still trying to learn the
hilarious.
English language, still like
Yeah.
learn his speech skills.
And that's our next adventure.
Yo.
Shit talking all the
Wait,
kids we
just-
can find.
yeah.
Like a side channel, just us shit talking his reviews. Speak English, you little bitch. He's like, it's like an old video where he's like really young, so like he's not even like, he's gone to school now and he's probably
Learn your words, fucking
yeah,
loser.
He's
You
like
missed
getting
7.
older, so he can easily speak now. But we're like shit talking like 5 years ago, like old videos. That'd be so like distasteful.
On the newer ones, just bring back the old Ryan. He was way
Yeah,
better.
Yeah, honestly, you gotta fire this kid. He's too
Yeah.
old.
He had a way better slur back in the day.
Way better.
Oh,
Slur.
so I wanted to ask you about it because after
About a
weddings,
slur?
not these slurs.
What's our direction right now?
We got a couple of those, but so I went for a pub crawl down in Port Moody with a couple of guys on Saturday, and like this is right before
Is that
the
even
mass-
legal?
Hey,
Is that legal?
yeah, it's because it's all pretty much outside. They don't open up the inside.
Dude, this is frat boy Kyle we're talking about. Look at this outfit.
We got
Can
frat boy
can we-
Kyle
can we
in
pause
the
this out?
house.
I'll just pause this outfit. Kyle, show off the chest.
Yo,
Show it off.
You
This is
want
how
some
Kyle
of the
pulls
hair?
up to my house
All
right
7
now.
of them.
He pulls up to my house with his fucking shirt
It's
on.
fucking nice out. It's
love
tummy
it.
time, boys.
Oh,
like,
no,
what
I
are we
love it.
saying?
Okay, anyway, Kyle was at
Anyway.
pub crawl.
Pub
Pub
crawl
crawl,
right
okay.
after the mask mandate comes out. So like you get to the front, you have to put on your mask.
Yeah.
As you get there, you walk to your seat, you take it off.
Mhm.
30 people are sitting all beside each other, but because we're drinking at the same time, you don't have to wear a mask. 'Cause
Yep.
COVID can't get there. So I want to ask you, how difficult is it to convince people just for that little bit of time to wear the mask? Because like I could understand if somebody went to a restaurant and you're like, yeah, you got to keep, like, I get it, you're eating, but like when you're not chewing, you got to put that back on. That would be
Bite
like, okay,
back
maybe
on.
I wouldn't go to a restaurant, but like just you got to put it on while you walk right next to me. And that's it. How
Yeah.
the fuck is that hard?
Right?
That's not that hard.
Yeah, and when you go to the washroom, that's literally it. And see, in the restaurant right now, I would say 9 times out of 10, people pull up, they already have their mask on.
Mm.
I don't have to say anything. We're cool. Maybe it's pretty forgivable for people to like get up from their table and just go to the washroom and be like, hey man, just make sure your mask is on. And usually the response is, oh shit. They don't want to be like grouped in with those people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more often than not, it's not really an issue. It's just like people forgetting when they go to the table. Every now and then too, you'll probably get like a couple people that's like they just pulled up, they didn't have a mask. And I'm like, you're really unprepared for this trip out, aren't you? Like, I mean, we have a bunch, so here they are. Here's your mask.
Yeah.
But like, you just were really unprepared. I don't know how you came to this moment. I've heard from other people I work with that there's been a few anti-maskers causing a stink and wanting to talk about the legitimacy of these rules. Personally, I only dealt with one lady like just the other night where she comes up inside the restaurant at the front and we're like, hey, just make sure you guys are wearing your mask. And she's like, I have my mask. I'll wear it while I walk through the restaurant. I was like, nope, you're going to wear it inside the restaurant because you're inside the restaurant. I don't care if you're walking or standing. You're still going to wear it.
Yeah.
And then she starts trying to like give me that like, that smirk with like, so what? COVID can't get. I didn't actually care about COVID. I'm just following
At
a rule I was paid
all.
to follow. I'm not here to tell you if these rules make sense or not. I don't actually give a shit if they make sense because at the end of the day, I'm just paid to do with this.
I just work here.
I don't care.
That's it.
Yeah.
No rule that they
right?
ever give me do I care and I want to keep. It doesn't
Right?
matter.
Like,
I just get paid to do this.
You want to argue with somebody over if these rules make sense? Go talk to Bonnie. I don't give a shit. But don't argue with me because I'm just following a rule. They could have told me you have to wear a top hat in here, and I would have told you put on your fucking top hat. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of Abe Lincolns. I don't give a fuck.
Does not matter at all. But she's like, and she's like condescending smirk. I'm like, do you think you're clever? Do you think I think these rules make sense? What do you think's going on here? Just put on the fucking mask and go sit at your table and take it off. Like you said, Kyle, it's 2 seconds. Half the time they do this shit too, which I mean, it's kind of annoying me. So I kind of being more of a dick about it. But I'll give them the mask and I'm like, right this way. And in good faith, I don't look back, but they just like held the mask in their hands the whole time. Like, oh, I'm fumbling with it. Like they don't know how to hold a mask. And then they get to the table like, oh, well, I'm here now. It's like, you're not clever. Yeah. Like now I just kind of like, I stop and I just look at them like, you gonna put it on or not? And
nice.
Like, and then they like have to put it on because I'm not gonna walk any further until they don't. But like, man, some people like that one woman, he was a bitch. But yeah, the whole fucking, I don't even know what's gonna go down with this whole vaccine passport in the next like week or so because like we haven't made any decisions on it. Granted, if I were to guess, I would say we'll probably follow whatever the government says because that's what you gotta do to keep your business license these days and not get fines. But I had some dude ask me, like I was gonna give him the hot gossip, like, dude, I don't even fucking know. They don't tell me shit either. And he's like, well, you're gonna lose a lot of business. And I was like, I Googled it like 10 minutes later and was like, BC vaccination status. It's like, we're like 60% fully vaccinated and like 80% or something, like half vaccinated, like first dose. And I was like, I mean, worst case scenario, we lose 16%, 20%, like whatever.
Nice. Yeah,
tough break.
It's so crazy just to think of the mask mandate. Obviously, like we said, you just put on a mask, you take it off. The vaccine one, it's like there's like for obviously I think they have religious exemptions or whatever, but they've always had religious exemptions for all the different vaccines. So it's crazy that so many places are saying this is the only way you have to get vaccinated, but the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting COVID. That's the part where I'm like, I get it. It stops you from dying from COVID. But what, like, everybody that wants to get the vaccine, like, I got the vaccine, but I don't think everybody needs to have it. I need it because I don't want to get Brittany's dad sick, and he lives with us, and he's an old guy. Yeah. That's the only reason. But if you don't want to do that and you want to risk dying, go for it. Yeah. You get COVID, you die. That sucks. But like, why do we have to care? Why does anybody give a fuck about what these other people do?
I feel like that question to a politician leads to like, well, we just care about everybody. But it's like, kiss my ass, you do.
That's
like,
the thing.
I don't care who you care about. I'm kind of like with you, like, you know, I'll spare everyone the logistics of these fucking talks, but like, if you got at this point, you know what's going on. You know the risk. You know what a high risk situation is. We all seen the stats. It's only unvaccinated people that are really getting sick for the most part. Like the ones that are vaxxed that are getting sick still, very small numbers. It's even like fewer that go to the hospital. Go to the hospital. But all the big numbers are just from people that didn't get vaccinated, and that's cool. You made your choice. You suffer the consequences. And if you don't get sick, lucky you.
And this
cool.
And this is where I hate that they keep talking about the cases. Like the cases were flying up, so that's why we need to get the mask made. It's like, but everybody that's vaccinated is getting COVID and they're fine. That's the whole point of the vaccine is that you can get COVID and not die. So why are we worried about them getting COVID? That's because once again, the plan.
We care about the unvaccinated people's health too.
See, I know, and this is where we had this talk right before we started about me being a centrist. And I lean. You said I lean a little bit more conservative because that's such a liberal idea that like you just have to take care of everybody. 100% of people should be safe. No, 100% of people don't agree that toast is good. Like you're not going to get 100% of people to agree on anything in the entire world, especially not as big as a vaccine.
Whoever doesn't like toast can honestly fuck themselves. Every sandwich is better with a toasted bun.
Whoa.
Matt.
I mean, let's
Are
slow
we-
down.
Let's
here.
go. No, here we go. Finally.
Let's okay.
Finally.
Hold on.
Matt's
Hold on.
allegiances have been revealed.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm gonna
I'm
be
gonna let
backing.
you finish.
No. You go in.
Oh,
I'm trying
no.
to figure out which one I'm backing.
All right, so you're telling me that every single time you walk into Subway, you get your bun toasted.
Absolutely.
Every single time.
Every single time.
It depends on the sandwich, man.
You get more than one sandwich?
They have a whole board.
Dude, there's like 3 different meat choices, but it's the same
Depends
sandwich.
on the mood, man.
What are you in a saucy meatball mood?
Well, okay, so like, let's say you're doing like the teriyaki chicken. That's a toasted one.
Why the fuck would I get teriyaki chicken?
Because it's good.
Not that good. First of all, sweet onion.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
wait.
all right. That one's really.
I'm gonna
good.
backpedal for a second, but yo. Anyways,
No
continue-
backpedaling.
continue.
No backpedaling.
Go with
What about
you
like the
said.
cold cut? You can't toast a cold cut. You want a nice soft bun.
You don't get a cold cut, man.
Yeah, you fucking do.
No.
Have you
Depends
never-
on your
And
mood?
absolutely, I do get it toasted because it's better.
Have you never had a
The
potato salad
fuck?
sandwich or an egg salad sandwich?
Potato
What the
salad
fuck is with this
sandwich?
guy?
Potatoes, but you
Who the
put-
fuck invited
Who
this
eats
guy?
potato salad? Egg salad is one thing. Egg salad is one
So
thing.
when I said potato
I'm not
salad, I
gonna
meant
let you-
tuna salad.
I'm not gonna let you have a good point with the egg salad sandwich comment, but the potato salad, Kyle.
Yes. I said the
Yo,
wrong word.
Earl's-
You were
Kyle.
correct.
Earl's has the best potato salad of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
I always avoid it.
Oh, you should get it.
I've never trusted
A
it.
potato salad from like a grocery store is shitty and cold and it's just
Yeah.
made by Satan.
It's like, yeah,
But,
it's real sus.
yeah, no, go to Earl's and get their shit. It's good.
You go to a
It's, like, really
restaurant,
good.
there's only one salad. It's the
the
Caesar salad,
potato.
and you get a half and half with fries, like an adult.
Or you get double mashed like a big boy. 'Cause that's how we roll in this house.
No, not any longer. Today's your day.
Yeah.
Today you gotta start. You're gonna be eat healthy,
Yeah,
and like
you're
you
gonna
got that
fucking eat-
water that you started drinking 7 minutes ago.
7
It's
minutes.
fucking like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Matt's
Dude's
not-
had 5 milliliters of water today.
Matt's gonna ruin our new
Matt's about
equipment.
to spit out more water than you've drank in a full day.
I was just thinking about way back in the day. It's like, weren't we talking about toast? Like, we got some weird tangents going on.
We had to tangent because I lost
Oh,
my
fuck.
point. I didn't want to defend it.
No, because I
Anyways,
beat him on the
Kyle,
tuna sauce. But it's all
tuna
good.
sauce.
Tuna
Now what are we
salad.
talking
Tuna
about?
salad.
Holy
guy.
fuck.
Anyways, Kyle, the fucking mask mandates suck. I don't.
Oh yeah, COVID. We're talking about COVID.
Oh. Switch it up a little bit,
Please.
but the same
We
thing.
just got
So,
back. What do you mean
Please.
switch it
We're-
up?
Please.
We're in the same realm, but so security guards because of COVID. So Britt works at a liquor store, and
Mhm.
forever they haven't had a security guard.
Mm-hmm.
She gets off at 11:15, right beside a hotel. One time that I went to pick her up, they were just 30 people having a fight outside the hotel, and she had to walk past, go into the hotel to clock out, then walk over to me, and I'm like, this is anarchy. That there's no security at all. So finally, they have Griffin posted out at the door.
Griffin
basically-
Security, the local dream
Oh,
squad.
yeah.
Yay.
Ain't
they're-
they been through-
Police minus the
Chilliwack
police.
saviors.
They've been through some shit.
Oh, they've had rough ones.
Anyways.
It's surprising they're still going.
Yeah, they're still going.
But so this guy's not. So
no.
they have their security posted out. Somebody comes up, they need to wear the mask. If they don't, you can order, and then they'll let you pay, and they'll bring the stuff to you at the door. That should be okay. But so this one security guard decided it was he wasn't just at work. He wanted to also play a little. So when he'd see somebody that was like nice looking girl, sweater would come off.
Oh,
And now
please.
he's just John by the liquor store, and like, hey girl, like, what are you up to today? Like, do you want to go over to Timmy's, have a coffee? Do you want to do this?
this?
So he starts harassing every girl that comes through, but takes off his sweater and starts like
cringe.
asking for feet pics, for nudes,
Oh, what the
all
fuck?
this stuff.
That's so aggressive. We
And
went a million
that-
miles away from just
Yeah,
grab a
that's
coffee.
escalated.
That's what I'm saying. He started off slow, went real fast. This is within like a 6-hour period that he started and ended, and they obviously
Griffin.
complained. He got the toss, but they didn't do too much of a background check on that guy.
Jesus.
But yeah, you never know. COVID changes people.
Griffin, let me see your feet.
So we've talked about getting security before, and I think in general they don't want to.
Hmm.
But like, I'm almost apprehensive for us to get security because I'm like, they don't fucking background check these guys half the time.
Yeah.
People that are going in for security job people, like, not always the best. Like, the dudes that I know, like, unless they were just like ball players that are just like, this is an easy job because they're already huge.
Yeah.
Most people I know that picked up a security job, that was like a last resort kind of job. So they probably got shit going on.
Well,
Yeah.
realistically, for you, you should just be recruiting from every football team, like in town. Just ask the biggest lineman, "Hey, can you stand at the door?" Like you don't have to. You most of the time, you're not gonna have to do shit. You just have to be there.
Yeah, that's true. Especially because coaching at the D line, these dudes are big enough. Yeah, just
I knew
a suit and stand over
two
here.
security guards back in Alberta that like they took their job super serious. Had like what the fuck is it called? Like they had permits to carry guns on them at all times. Like they were like they took their job fucking serious.
Whoa,
Like,
you wouldn't fuck
oh
with
yeah,
Griffin if they had a
fucking
gun.
dip in their mouth all the time.
Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
so anyways, it's just like
This is the
just
club
full
I wanna
on
go to.
hick
I
with a
feel safe
gun.
there.
Yeah, and he's
Wild.
oh man,
As
he's
long
just
as
a
you're
fucking
not
crazy
somebody
person.
that wants to cause trouble.
But
you're gonna be
yeah, sure
fine.
enough, they were both football players when they were younger. Just bigger guys, and now that's
Yeah.
just like that's
Yeah.
that's what they do. Like that's what they
Jeez.
got.
I had a buddy of mine in college. His name was Hussein. He was just like probably the same height as me, like 5'10" ish. But he was like jacked, and he was been like jacked like this since like high school. Super strong dude, and he was always just so like whimsical, like, oh hey, how's it going? Yeah, everything's fine. Oh, have a good day. But like, I would hear stories about him running security at some of these nightclubs in Toronto, and he would just body dudes, just light them up with just like, whatever. Yep.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yep.
I suggest you not do it. I really don't want to do this.
Yeah, he's just such a nice guy, and it's like him just like ruining people because that's what he did in football. He ruined people. He was
Yeah.
a very terrifying individual. The only reason he's not like NFL superstar probably is because he's not that tall, and he was playing like D-line linebacker stuff. But like he was beast, and then just hearing every dude I knew that played football that was a security guard, they have just some crazy stories of just like really hurting people badly.
Speaking of not that tall, every time you say 5'10", I don't believe it. I don't think you're 5'10".
Okay, well,
I think
first
you're like
off,
5'8", maybe
There
5'9".
there was a hard-ish on there, and second, when I was in high school, I went to a Nike Spark Combine, and they measured me with lasers and without shoes on. And the
Lasers and no shoes.
and the
I don't
actual
believe
number-
those were the
And
numbers
the
they
actual
gave
number is 5'9 3/4", so 5'10"-ish.
you. Give,
I
don't
mean-
take one.
So I'm good with 5'10". On paper, it was 5'11".
On my player card, I'm a 6'1",
Do you know what-
230-pound linebacker.
Do you know what always cheesed me? You remember my boy Ty?
Yeah,
So
big thigh
when
tie.
when I stand next to Ty, I am taller than him. Not by a lot, by a little. But when we look on paper, he would always list he's over 6 foot. And
Yeah,
I was
Ty's
so
no-
cheesed
Ty,
because
you're not 6. You
no,
ain't 6, bro.
No, he's probably like a legit 5'9", where I'm 5'9 3/4. But
You definitely skipped on the tippy toes. I don't believe that. I think you're 5'8.5" at best.
at best, okay. Anyways, but the fact that he was 6'1" on paper and I was 5'11" cheesed me to no end. And I'll never get over it. That was a long time ago and only for a short period of time, but never getting over it. So, guys, I wanted to tell a story. Are you guys familiar with the book, or well, I don't know if it's a book, story, Beowulf?
Yeah.
The folklore
The folklore? What do you know about Beowulf?
that there was a movie.
There was a movie? There
That's
was a
it.
movie.
That's it. That's all I really know about Beowulf. I don't know any details on him.
Do you know anything about Beowulf, Matt?
Well, it's from Greek mythology, isn't it?
No.
Oh, where's it from?
Well, it's set in Nordic countries up north, so
Oh,
the actual writers of it are unknown still, but it's been translated like a million times or something like that.
oh,
But
okay.
anyways, so really old story. I guess the synopsis is there's this monster and he comes and fucks up this local town in their little mead hall where they all party and stuff. Fucks them up. So they get this guy Beowulf come down, go kill that monster. Job's done. Cool. And then the monster's mother, a little upset that he just killed her son, so she comes down. Well, Beowulf's got to go fuck her up too. And then eventually he becomes king or some shit like that. That's the short form. Now, so when I was in university, I took this class. It was like medieval and Renaissance Europe literature. And it was absolutely mandatory. I would never have taken this class if it wasn't. But we had to study Beowulf. And, the first thing we had to read for that class, it was like a small poem. It wasn't too long. So I read it, and I like legitimately read it. But like as the year went on and the class went on, we had to like read longer and longer books. And I'm just not much of a reader. Never have been. Well, when Beowulf came up, it was like the third option. I knew there was a movie. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Spark Notes, baby.
Yeah, Spark Notes and movie time. Let's go. So I watched the movie. Now, I had never actually read Beowulf, so I don't know the details of Beowulf until I watched the movie, and I'm like, okay, I got this. Well, then it was just coincidence that I thought, I wonder, there's probably some differences between the movie and the book, eh? That's usually a thing that happens when they make movies. They usually stray a little bit. I can't imagine it would be that big, but like, let me just like Google it. Differences. There's really only one big difference, and that difference is wildly different tone than what I would have had to write a report on. Whoa, just got a little gas there. Anyways, that was attractive.
That's your body rejecting the story. Get to the point.
I was so
where are
into
we?
the story
Where are
until
we?
that.
We're talking about the story.
story
now.
time.
Keep going,
Kyle's
keep
a little
going.
impatient.
I am. I'm so impatient in general. I apologize. Keep
So,
going.
like I said, the old story says Beowulf goes and finds that mother, and he kills her. In the movie, that mother was played by Angelina Jolie, and he fucks the mother. Does not kill her. And then they have a baby. The baby comes and kills everything. And I almost wrote a report talking about Beowulf hooking up with his mom.
I wish you did. I wish you did.
Close. It was like one day away. I would have done it. It was so close. That's why, kids, you always need to reference check. You always need to follow the path and make sure you do your due diligence. Because I would have looked so dumb writing a report about Beowulf having sex with this monster.
How many hours did you put into this book without reading it? That's
Well,
what
the movie was an hour 30.
hour 30.
So
Spark Notes.
Spark Notes and that Google search probably put us up to like hour 45.
I was so curious about where that story was going.
I just
kind of ended.
I
was trying to save it, but
it's a good memory. It was a good memory. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, man. These are life lessons. That's what we're out here for. We're out here to give life lessons. And hopefully people can leave knowing that they've learned something. I know I've got a couple of my boys that I coach with football and stuff. They watch this show, and I need to help them learn life lessons. And this is how we're going about it.
The vibe of this show is so weird today.
So
Kyle's
talking
got
about
some
learning,
fucking-
you would put me onto this Tesla getting into the humanoid robotics.
Let's get this going.
So
Oh shit!
So I've got a different part on it, but from what I saw, from what he's saying, is
Mhm.
basically they were at the AI convention. He's like, "Yeah, we're doing this. Oh, we're actually gonna create a humanoid robot."
Oh, by the way,
and then
fucking
I'm
robots.
gonna have a truck coming out next week. And it was like, "Okay, wait. Can you take a pause for a second? You're gonna create a human robot
Yeah.
that nobody else can do.
Yeah,
Everybody's been trying to do this, and you're like, I'm just gonna try this now."
it's literally, by the way, fucking robots.
Yeah.
Anyways, spaceships.
And then like I saw a
Wild.
quote that him and then a bunch of other robotics agreed that like Tesla is technically the biggest robotic company in the world.
Yeah, well, they're
Because
the
of-
biggest data source
Yeah.
company in the world. They have more data than any other company combined, basically, right?
Yeah,
That's why they're so far ahead.
Do you know more info on the actual robot he's trying to make?
Yeah, he's fucking out to lunch. Nothing like that has ever
Oh,
been
no.
made. The Boston Dynamics, which is like the most advanced robotics company, I guess,
Yeah.
at this point, has been working on two robots for the past decade, the like humanoid version and the dog version. Everyone's seen both of those.
Yeah.
They're pretty archaic when it comes to
Clunky.
like robotics and everything like that. So it's fair to assume that the technology Tesla has the ability to make something more advanced than the Boston Dynamics humanoid robot. But how sleek they had that thing designed is just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like it's possible, but like nothing even similar has ever been made.
It's gonna be like how they had the concept truck And then when they brought the real one out, and it looked like it was from Minecraft, like it was just like, all like angles and shit.
Now, was this the same like thing? I think I saw a video of that like guy comes out in like the robot costume and then he starts breakdancing.
No, I don't think so. No, this was
no.
like he was taking it seriously.
Oh, you're probably talking about Jake Paul's.
What?
Jake Paul has his own robot.
Oh God, I don't want to hear about that.
It's badass if you ever see it.
Okay,
Nope,
no.
nope.
But,
I'm
keep
staying
going.
on Tesla. But no, so he's talking about how he's like, because Elon is like all about AI. He's like, yo, this shit is serious. We like, haven't you seen the fucking movies? Like, this stuff can kill us, so we have to take it serious. So
This
he's
shit
like,
could
the
kill us.
the selling features on this robot are like, you can overpower it. It's like 5'7", so it's not that tall. It's kind of slender, and those are like its features, so that like if need be, you can kill it. And
Him
like
creating
it's like,
a little baby boy.
yeah. So it's like it's kind of weak, and it can just do like menial tasks. And at the end of the day, if it were to like try and create an uprising, you can just kill it. And that was like, oh yeah, so we got that
So
part.
basically
figured
I
out.
love how paranoid he is about that fact that he's literally like preparing
He's the
to
one-
be a little
yeah.
hobbit.
So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
that Will Smith movie, I, Robot. But he's like, I saw what happened in that fucking
Yeah.
movie. These
Yeah.
guys are gonna be short. They
Yeah.
can't jump.
Yeah.
Short and weak.
They can't jump. Can't
Fuck that
run.
thing up.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I mean, like, hey, we'll see. I'm sure it'll happen. We'll see, because that's like definitely a concept, and it was very sleek.
Okay.
But man, we'll
Can
see.
I take you guys on a journey that my
Oh,
mind took
I
when I
love
started
journeys.
seeing these robots? So
Okay, let's go.
so I'd seen this a couple years ago in a show, but so they have robotic exoskeletons
Mhm.
in major companies like Hyundai and Ford. They've developed them, so basically for mechanics and workers, you have like an upper body one that can make it so you can lift more
Yeah.
without straining your body. So like a mechanic could work underneath a truck for 8 hours without
Yeah.
his shoulders killing,
Yeah.
and then
It's Iron
ones
Man
for your
suit.
legs where you can
Yeah.
sit and it's not you're not sitting
It's
in a
probably safe
squat.
to assume it was probably designed for like army applications, and now it's hitting
Yeah,
civilian.
yes, yeah. What
scenarios,
we're allowed to see, this is where it was being used.
Yeah.
So my mind goes, if you take those and then you go to Tesla. Tesla's always working on the same vehicles because they only have their brand, the same parts, they don't have aftermarket, and in the same facilities. You take the automation, because the autonomous driving in the cars, it's all updating immediately all the time. Every time a car goes down a certain road, it's a new road that no other Teslas went down. It updates every car to see that map, and now they know that's an area they can go to. To take that technology and add it into the exoskeletons and have every person working in a Tesla factory wearing these, and now every time that they change the oil, every time they do whatever, it's updating to show this is how your arm movement would go, this is how you
Oh,
do
yeah.
this is how you do that. You do that enough times, that exoskeleton might have the exact roadmap to do any kind of job onto those vehicles. Now, it's a long stretch to
No,
say that
so
he's done this.
I agree that we have the technology to do that, but we have robots already capable of doing more advanced movements than people, anyways.
But what I'm meaning is that it would if you were to do this, now you're able to take because the thing is autonomy for the robots. So if you're able to create a human robot that can work as a pit crew for Tesla, basically,
Mhm.
now you can, if they can make that work and have the technology fully developed, that can move on to any kind of labor intensive thing.
Yeah, so if staying on track with robotics, what they do have is because it comes down to like, when do you need a robot? It's either you're automating something or you're putting it somewhere where people can't really be.
Or you're lazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
automation. It's just you don't need a person there, or you can't get a person there. So for the things where it's like you can't get a person there, you're just creating things as efficiently as possible. But for things where you need to mimic human motion, they have actual robots where you're essentially putting on VR goggles and you have hands, and you're like, I think it's in like Japan or something like that, where there's this robot that moves and like stocks all the shelves, and it's actually a person sitting at home like doing all this shit and everything, right? So yeah, it's pretty trippy.
Yeah,
but, it's
in my mind for this, that's the biggest thing when I was trying to look this up, is that changing it from, because they've got all the robotic technology to create the shell, but they
Mhm.
always need human intelligence to actually
Yeah,
operate it.
so I think
So if you can mimic the human intelligence
through
autonomy
machine
and everything.
learning, you could create algorithms where the machine would track the movement of human hands and try and learn why it would or specifically do things in a certain fashion versus what the computer would think to be the most efficient fashion.
Yeah.
And it could cross-reference those two things and figure out why humans do certain things. So within machine learning, there are ways that like robots can kind of learn from us through just tracking that data and everything. But even beyond taking that a step further, Neuralink, they've literally done studies with it where it's an actual computer chip in your brain, and they have like a live graph or something like that on a computer, and there's like what the fuck is it? It's something like a pig on a treadmill or something like that, and they can actually like you see these stick figures on a computer screen of like what the computer assumes are legs, and it's moving exactly where the pig legs are moving, and it's like tracking the exact precise data because there's a chip in its brain that's able to calculate the neurons or some shit.
Now, I have a question, Kyle.
Yeah.
You're talking about exoskeletons, right?
Yeah.
And you said it was like only upper body and only lower body?
Those are the two main ones that I just like. They have the middle so that you kind of keep your core strength.
Yeah, I do know they have full human exoskeletons.
I was gonna say, like
that. Like it's a thing.
I feel like you need like a full Iron Man suit because I feel like
the bottom half would support the top half.
Exactly, because like if you're like I don't know, let's say you had just the upper body and you were like, let me push on something harder than I normally can push. Well, it's always the weakest part is gonna break first. So if it's not the wall, it's your ankles. Your ankles are.
Well, there are like exoskeletons that are like not even battery powered or anything, and that kind of relates to like in the film industry, the big Steadicams that people have, where it's like this huge waist belt that goes all the way up your back, and then it's this like arm that pops out, and it's held on like springs and counterweights and everything like that, and it's whatever is holding it is completely weightless. So they have other versions of that where it's like two arms and things. And I've seen a video once where someone kind of converted that into an exoskeleton. So it's meant for cameras. It had two big arms, and they kind of created some sort of contraption where it connected to their hands, and they were able to like pick things up heavier than they should be. And it was still only connected through his waist, and he was able to pick up like a couple 100-pound objects or something like that. And it was like he was really struggling, but he was able to do it, and it was only strapped around his waist, from what I believe. It was pretty impressive, yeah. And it was no electronics or anything. It was just counterbalanced and everything like that.
It's pretty serious.
For all these reasons, like the Neuralink, the automated driving, just the vision of Elon Musk in general, I feel like he could easily be the first one that can actually make a semi-autonomous person.
Oh, probably.
Like the way that he displayed it, and he's like, I'm just gonna make a regular person.
Just by the way,
I feel like that's like when you have that kid at math that's just unreal.
Yeah.
And then when the teacher says, "Can you show your work?" He's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that. Why would I do that? I know the answer already." That's what Elon Musk just did to us. He's like, I know how to do it. I know there's all this stuff that you dummies are gonna try and like figure out how to do. I'm done. I'm done that. This is my human.
Yeah.
Look at it. He's 5'7".
You can beat him up if you want.
My little boy. He's always in the passenger
I call him
seat.
Frodo.
Yeah. So that's Musk. Actually, speaking of that though, because I even have a couple of notes. But Blue Origin, so the spaceship or the rocket company that is owned by Jeff Bezos, they're suing SpaceX right now. Just kind of trippy.
SpaceX or NASA? I thought they were suing.
Oh
NASA.
yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, let me get these notes here.
No worries.
So, Blue Origin filed a lawsuit on the U.S. federal court regarding NASA's $2.3 billion contract with SpaceX to help return astronauts to the moon. So the details of the complaint are sealed, but Blue Origin, which was originally seen as a frontrunner, alleged that NASA improperly evaluated the proposal submitted for the human lander system. So basically, the two companies, they're like both space companies, but they're very, very different. So to understand each company, you need to understand each person's mission. So Elon Musk basically wants to retire on Mars, while Jeff Bezos, he wants us to work and live in space. So SpaceX, their ultimate goal is long-distance interplanetary travel and has promised to land humans on Mars by 2026, and they rely on government and commercial contracts as well as revenue streams from Starlink. Blue Origin, on the other hand, wants millions of people to live and work in vast colonies aboard cylindrical space stations orbiting above Earth, which is fucking wild. But it's personally funded by Bezos, so he kind of is just able to do whatever he wants. But they're commonly associated with space tourism, but it seems like they're researching engineering tools for resource extraction and developing commercial space stations. So they're working on a bunch of shit in the background, hasn't really told anyone about, and it seems like this contract kind of falls in line with what they're trying to do. But SpaceX got the contract, and Jeff Bezos is all pissed about it now, so he's just straight up suing them.
So it sounds like a spoiled rich kid that wants to get his way, and another spoiled rich kid that's already got it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, for just like first time hearing it, it sounds like Jeff Bezos. He just wants to. He's got so much on Earth already. He just wants to make another little place in space where he can call his own. Whereas Elon Musk and SpaceX, the job is to get to the moon. That's what the
Mars,
contract
bro.
was, right?
Oh, yeah,
The
for that.
contract is
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get people back to the moon.
Yeah, yeah.
His whole plan is to get to Mars by 2026. He's gonna get past the moon, so he's gonna.
Yeah,
like,
that's just a pit stop for
That's
him.
what the job is.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos doesn't want to do that job. That's not his goal. That
Well,
would be a side quest so he could get some fucking
From
money
what I
from the
understand, Jeff Bezos literally wants to have people go to the moon and back down to Earth and space stations and like short distance space travel. So that's what this contract kind of has to do with, where Elon Musk is like long distance travel, reusable rockets, things like that, like getting people far away.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, Bezos is just pissed because he thinks his company falls in line with that specific scenario.
I guess my first thoughts on it are, who the fuck is NASA to sell the rights to go to space?
Right?
Like, how is space under any jurisdiction? Like,
well,
we're not even on, like, space is just space. Like, if you want to go to space.
Yeah, like, realistically, like, what's stopping anyone from just building a rocket and just launching up there? Like,
literally just money.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
People are probably going to come after you, but if you can build it fast enough,
Right?
What are you going to do?
That's the thing, though, is that I don't know exactly, but it doesn't seem like NASA is saying you can't do what you want to do. It's just we're not going to pay you. The government isn't going to be paying you to go make your own tourist attraction.
From my understanding, SpaceX has been working with NASA and in turn, the government, basically. They've been essentially renting out the Falcon 9 to like ship heavy cargo and everything like that up into space, up into the space station up there and everything. So they already have like a relationship together, right? Where Bezos is just kind of butthurt about it all because he feels like he has a better opportunity to do what they want and he has a better way to do it, but he just didn't get that contract. So
yeah.
But
so,
NASA just straight up can't afford to pay both of them, so they're like, yeah, sorry, SpaceX got it, and that's it.
And the thing with NASA is that it's not just something to do with space. It's a government run operation.
Yeah.
So the government, theme parks and doing everything else, that doesn't apply to them. Their whole idea, the whole reason they're there is to explore and basically learn and research. It's science. That's it. So anything that doesn't have to do with science doesn't matter for them. They should not be funding it because they're spending our money to build a park that we can pay to go to.
Yeah.
No, we need
that we'll never afford to be able to go
to.
to.
That's what I mean. Like they should be focused on just how do we get to the moon and back? How do we get to Mars and back? How do we colonize Mars? How do we figure out how to like take some of that gas from Saturn and drop our prices a little bit? Like do whatever you need to do.
Well, it seems like there's the future is definitely in space. That's for sure, right? So it just kind of comes down to like, where are we going first? Are we going to colonize Mars, or are we going to start building these like space fucking hotels or something like outside of the Earth's atmosphere? And that's just kind of like where rich people get to hang out. And
honestly, literally only rich people.
Yeah, and that'll be like the new elite hangs out on the edge of space.
Right?
Like, we'll finally be able
Vancouver every other weekend is expensive as shit. Let me just go to Mars.
We'll finally be able to get a house in North Van.
Yeah, exactly. They all moved to Mars.
Oh god,
there'll be no more foreign investors jacking up the prices out here because they'll be in space.
Yeah, they'll be gone.
Jesus, hey, that's crazy.
That's hilarious. Matt.
Okay, you go.
Matt, you said you wanted to talk about this Nobel Peace Prize situation.
Okay, I switched my role on it, man.
It was gonna be good.
So you're saying
okay. Let's
Greta your decision.
No, that was good. Okay, so fucking Greta, man.
Fucking Greta.
I don't even know who the fuck she is. That's why it was like I was so torn up on all this. So I had to do a bit of research, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I get it.
I was really wanting this take.
So like, okay, yeah, so I'm still gonna take it. But Morgan Vague, I believe her name is. She identified and bred 3 strains of bacteria that degrade plastic, which is polyethylene, terra, blah 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 blah. The plastic used in packaging and soft drinks and stuff, like just the fucking plastic.
Yeah.
So she got like cheated out by the Person of the Year of 2019 by Greta. And I was casually reading about that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like this person who like actually potentially discovered a way to eat plastics so that we don't kill ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And she got snubbed out by this like bratty little teenager. And I was just like so pissed about it. I was like, what the fuck? Because at first I thought it was like Nobel Peace Prize. That's what I originally read. But it was just Person of the Year. That's not as big of a deal.
Oh, it was like Forbes or something like that?
Yeah, Times Magazine Person of the Year, which is still like, okay, that's kind of cool. But like that's where I changed my role, where I'm like, okay, it was just like she just made the most noise that year. It wasn't the best discovery, the biggest.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, okay,
contest.
I fucking get that. That makes sense. Times Magazine, blah, blah, blah. But I thought it was Nobel Peace Prize, where I'm like, fuck that little girl. Like, fuck that little girl. She didn't do anything. So then I'm like looking into all, I'm like, let's see what the fuck she really did. An environmental activist born in Sweden learned about climate change at 8 years old.
Wow.
Age 11 became so sad she stopped talking. Isn't that crazy? That's Nobel Peace Prize material.
This lady is nobody.
Yeah, in 2018, instead of going to school, she made a sign that says "Schools Strike for Climate." In March 2019, campaigners across the world are inspired by Greta and coordinate the first global strike for climate change. Over 1.6 million people from 125 countries took part. So, Person of the Year? Yeah, that's okay. I get it. She made a big splash that year. So that's why I'm kind of like, okay, I'm going to chill. I'm going to put the brakes on that one. Because I was actually pissed about it.
You said that she learned about climate change at 8?
Yeah.
She never got sunburned? Like, you like never went outside? Of course, she lives in Sweden. Like, all they know is one climate.
Yeah, so I'm like, I was fucking sitting at home doing some fucking homework on Greta and this actual scientist. I'm like, well, let's see their fucking accolades. Like, what did they really do? I'm doing all this research and shit. I'm like, okay, yeah, this person actually went to school, where this person is just like an emotional teenager, whatever.
She did a strike against school.
Exactly.
She literally didn't even finish high school.
But yeah, and then at like the very end, I saw it was specifically just Person of the Year. I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. She made a big splash that year.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
I just love this like whole like fuck Greta energy.
Dude, yeah, okay, because we had a meeting. We usually have meetings for our podcast. We're just kind of talking about all the ideas, and instantly I was just fucking boiled.
Yeah, you hate Greta, I hate France. So.
Yeah, I was just pissed about it. I really needed to air my grievances, but after doing the research so that I could accurately be angry, I realized, oh, okay, that's not that big of a deal. So that's my story about why I hate Greta, and then I decided I don't hate her, but I still kind of.
Now that we're done being haters, time to turn into OnlyFans.
Oh.
So,
yeah,
the transitions are on point right now.
Last story of the day.
Yep.
So I'm sure people already heard OnlyFans banned porn, and then days later brought that back a little bit because they realized all their money is in porn.
Yeah, they are porn.
But so the key word in it is that they suspended their ban on porn. They didn't say that they're not doing it. It's just once all the talk drops, they'll just do it subtly because they now realize that if you say it out loud, everybody that works for you is gonna realize. But speaking of that, it's done its damage. It's the way I look at it when they said that, it's like 60-70% of their business probably. And you just it'd be like,
isn't it 100?
No, so
it's it is considerable. I would probably push 90-ish.
It was developed in the UK like 5 years ago or some shit. But the idea behind it is that it was supposed to promote fitness and cooking, like have people like chefs getting fans and cooking, and like they did kind of have that, because I'm sure there was a lot of sweaty sausage going around, like probably a couple tossed salads on like the table, maybe a spit roast in the oven. You don't even know. But the big thing that he said in his the press conference saying why they were doing it is like that the banks were pushing them to do it for the sponsorship.
Yeah.
So the people that started it, these UK rich people, the guy's known as a businessman. He borrowed money from his dad, his dad or grandparent, I don't know what it is, but he works on banks, the board. So basically, the guy just has unlimited
Yeah.
money to give to him. 2018, they sold, but they still make money, so they still have a say in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The guy that they sold to he's a complete greaseball, but he's through and through the guy that owns the biggest porn site. Like that's his dream. Like the last 20 years, all he's done is like whether legally or illegally tried to create new avenues for people to go watch different types of porn.
Nice.
Fair. No, he's in
So-
the
That child porn lady should talk to him.
Oh, he was
Hard
that's one of the things. That's where his background is that like he'd figure out backdoors to get into a child porn thing, into a bestiality thing.
That's fucked
So
up.
the dude's a greaseball, obviously. But
yeah, he's probably seen some
I was
shit.
trying when it was happening, I was trying to figure out like why is this guy trying to back down from porn? Like he's
Mhm.
clearly put his whole life
Yeah,
into this.
He's invested in porn.
And
Why
it's-
back out?
So obviously the bank above the guy that's running it, he's trying to do it. But what they did immediately was they put a wedge in between their biggest profit, like where they get all their profit, and then all the little grandmas knitting, because they basically told their girlfriend they want to break up, and then said, "Oh, I'm just kidding."
We'll do it later.
Now that thought's in their head.
Yeah.
Every one of the girls that's on there that's making crazy amount of money, they're not going to be like, "Oh shit, I guess I gotta go work." They're gonna be like, "Okay, let's find a new site."
Yeah, where's
And
the
every
market now?
person that heard that was thinking about trying to do something, they're trying to develop that next site that's
Mhm.
gonna just double down, be real with who they are. We're a porn site. We want to make sure that they make their money legally. They don't you don't have to worry about going and showing up at somebody's house. You don't have
Right.
to have an overlord running it. You do you. That's all we're doing.
Do
Yeah.
you wanna know what the next OnlyFans is?
Which one?
It's Ethereum.
There. Okay.
Do you want to know? Okay,
Yes, I do.
so
Whoa. Okay.
so with this whole thing happening, there was a couple of girls, and it's been going on for a little while. But I think it was in some publicity got hit on these people. But they're basically selling NFTs of like their porn. And so then you buy it on the Ethereum network, and then once you purchase it, then you have like a special link that you can get their actual custom access to like all of their exclusive content and everything like that, and it's hosted by like essentially them.
Yeah.
But you can only access it by purchasing their NFT. So it's this same thing as the OnlyFans, but now there's blockchain technology put into it.
You know what? It's impressive. They made blockchain porn.
If
It's
blockchain can like solve everything.
I mean, I've heard of other
Porn
websites that
finds a way.
are
Like,
yeah.
porn always finds a way.
I've heard of other websites literally just doing exactly what OnlyFans is doing, just like almost identical interface
Yeah.
too. So I know there's that, but yeah, I think saw an interview done with Lena the Plug, who's obviously she does porn. It's obviously her thing.
The plug.
Yeah. Anyways, and she basically just talked about how I guess sex workers in general, it's not the first and won't be the last time that they get completely screwed by the program or by the system that they're using, the platform.
Yeah.
Seems to be a common thing, especially because it comes down to money, like you said. Banks have strictly no sex work in their contracts and stuff like that, so they can't finance these places. OnlyFans wants to be super mainstream. I've only heard of one person doing OnlyFans that wasn't in porn, and that was this dude. I think his name's Skinny Betts. He just basically is a sports gambler, and he'll give you his line, whatever he's gonna bet
Yeah.
that day, and you just pay to that.
Yeah,
Which is
there
actually
is an avenue that they have that people do, but
Right.
it's very very niche, and it's not
Yeah,
the porn is where the most of their money
Absolutely.
comes from. Because I know in
Absolutely.
the UK even they I think they just announced OnlyFans TV because they have an app and then a
Jesus.
network.
Wild.
And the idea is basically what they're trying to do is what they're marketing it as is, have you seen the Masterclass app
Yeah,
before? So Tony Hawk teaches you how to skateboard, blah blah.
yeah.
That's what they're trying to do, but with regular people. So
Hmm.
if you get a YouTube, you go viral on YouTube and you start you're a basketball player, you go on OnlyFans and you bring those viewers to watch you and you teach them a drill or whatever. That's what they're trying to market OnlyFans as.
that sounds
Which-
stupid.
Which it's taking people that aren't as good and doing the
Yeah.
same thing that It's just a cheap version.
Yeah.
So it's the only reason that OnlyFans exists is because like those basketball drills, like we said, you could just do them on YouTube.
Mhm.
The sports betting, I see that all over TikTok, Instagram, everything.
Mhm.
You don't see porn anywhere. So that's the only reason OnlyFans is still around, is because they are allowing porn to do that.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, these people that do this profession, they got to understand that they need to diversify their platforms, because you can't trust, like, you can't just be on YouTube, because YouTube will fuck you at any turn and then you
Yeah.
lose everything. Like, you have
Yeah.
to find a way to put yourself on as many platforms that can support you legitimately and just see how much you can grow off that. Because if they just stick with OnlyFans, like you said, that thought's in the head. They didn't say they weren't going to do it ever. They just said they're suspending it.
Yeah.
Probably just, like you said, probably just around the corner. Just give it some time.
They've got
So-
probably less than 5 years before they sell or go under, because
Yeah.
they're not gonna be able to rebrand themselves as non-porn. That's no, like, until I started reading this stuff, I didn't know that there was another option. I thought that's all it was. Is
Yeah.
you look at
This
Instagram
is
girls.
just paid porn.
Yeah. Well, they probably got different funding or something like that. Like whoever was funding them before probably decided to pull their investment out. So then they're screwed. So like, yeah, sorry, we're shutting down.
Yeah.
'Cause that was the
Well-
only way to get their funding back. And then someone else, some shadow broker or something to do with porn,
Yeah.
probably like, yeah,
It-
we'll pay you.
And another one that's probably big is that it's just how public it is, how big
Yeah.
it is now. Like in the last, well, during the pandemic,
Yeah.
it blew up and everybody knows what it is. It's been running through the entire 5 years with the same kind of clientele.
Yeah.
But once it got into mainstream, now it's just like that Mike Richards guy. He was supposed to be the Jeopardy host, and then he was on for like an episode and got canceled because he had podcast like 13 years ago that he called somebody like a Jewish slur or something. He was completely fine being
Oh,
a producer.
no.
He was fine doing everything he was doing, but the second that he went into the public eye, they dug deep, looked at it, and now he's not allowed to do the thing he's been doing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So once OnlyFans
Wild.
became
I-
public, everybody looks into it, and now the investors are like, "Oh shit!" They know that we're getting paid by porn stars. We gotta change it. We can't let them know, otherwise we're gonna get canceled.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I hope we never do anything with our lives, or else someone will go back to this podcast. You were on that podcast. You're canceled.
No, I own my shit. I think that's what we said at our last one of our
Yeah.
last
You
podcasts.
gotta
Is
own
just
it.
own what you do and do what you own. Like, just be
Yeah.
you. If you're
So,
gonna be you and then turn around and pretend you're not, when everybody knows
I
you're into
understand
porn.
Twitch not wanting to get into porn and like wanting to not have women in hot tubs and stuff like that. I understand that, but it's like, is that the best thing to do? But OnlyFans not wanting to do porn either. Like they're trying to get away from porn as well. Like that doesn't make sense for them. Like that's just like that's their only thing.
The Twitch
like-
equivalent would be like, we're not doing gaming streams anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
if Twitch stopped
honestly.
doing gaming streams, it's like, yeah, we only want to do women in bikinis now.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
wait,
it's like-
what?
Sorry, pause.
Didn't Playboy do that? Like, 'cause
Playboy did no porn. Yeah,
No,
did.
they did. They switched their magazines like a couple years ago so that there was no naked.
Yeah.
There's no nudity.
Yeah, no porn.
It's been like that
So-
for a while, hasn't it?
Well, they did it for like a few years, and I think they went back.
So it's
Hmm.
just another It's just another Sears
Exactly.
catalog.
I think that's the thing.
It's,
The
it's
sales,
nothing.
the sales go
anymore.
down the moment they took out the porn, and then I think they just reverted.
Yeah, is Playboy even around?
I think you can probably find it in like the back shelf of a shitty convenience store still. I mean, I haven't bought a Playboy magazine in my entire life. I've had a couple given to me. It's
Top
like,
top shelf in the back, usually onto the right side.
Yeah, like, that was like when I was like 10, waiting for my parents and like Shoppers, and I'd be like snooping the magazine section, see
Yeah.
what kind of shit I could find.
Trying to
like
see
that
if
was
you
the
can
last
cop
time
a
I've
titty.
ever
You
even like
take the
looked for
Sports
them.
Illustrated, put it in front, and just move.
Oh,
Oh,
like who's buying a magazine?
nobody.
It's terrible investment.
It's
very
it's just
impractical.
like buying a video game at this point with the case. You just want it for the cover. That's it.
That can deteriorate so
Yeah.
quickly.
It's useless.
Anyways,
Well,
that's
I think
all
that's
time.
yeah, I think that's a good amount of time. That's about an hour right there. So I think we'll try and keep them a little bit shorter. This was a good one though. I feel like we were kind of wandering, but I still had fun.
It's a journey. We just gotta take it.
Yeah.
Last thing that we gotta say, I gave a little splash there.
Oh.
Noticing the sweater, the shirt.
Oh,
did
you
logos.
notice that? Did you?
We,
oh.
We have, I don't know how to put this. We are starting to sell merch. That's the idea. We're gonna have we have an option I think Dustin, you know what the site's actually called. So you can
We're gonna have
put
to
out
link
there
it in
more.
the bio because
Yeah.
it's gonna be way too long.
Kyle's the worst salesman ever.
Yeah,
I
which-
would not buy his merch.
I'm
Yeah.
not even wearing a shirt. So
Yeah,
like, I don't
so-
know. I'm not the
Fucking
salesman.
So
Limp
we're
Bizkit
dropping.
over here.
We got a little bit of a merch drop. You want to support the show? You want to support the boys? You like what we're doing, or maybe you just think that the color scheme's blessed because that's kind of where I'm at. I think the color scheme's blessed.
Mhm.
We'll put links in the descriptions of various things, the doobly doos, and you'll be able to click on that, take a look, see what you like. If there's something that's if you got any ideas, feel free to let us know what you'd like to see. This is just the first merch drop, so it's pretty basic stuff. Try to keep it low key. And maybe we'll get some more interesting things later down the road. But I think the stuff looks pretty sharp. I think the purple and white looks nice.
Yo.
Yeah, if you want to check it out, like I said, I'll have links in the bios, and you guys can go crazy.
All right.
On that
Well-
note, we out.
Peace.